Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking reading. Today's Wednesday, halfway through the week, always a good day. If you are interested in a personal reading with me, gifting or donating to the channel, everything is in the box below. If you're interested in the coaching program I'm currently running, I'm offering six sessions at a reduced rate. I do have some positions coming up in the next week, so if you're interested in doing that or you've already put your name down, I'll be back in touch with you. I now go live on YouTube on Wednesday, today, and live on Instagram Fridays, both of them at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. And I do live mini reads on Facebook once a month. We've just had one. The next one will be on a Saturday. If you're interested in any of those things, you can whip over to my Facebook page at the Aussie Goddess and just like my page, and you will find pinned to the top of the page where I'm going to be and what I'm doing for the next couple of months. I know some of you are still asking me about tarot classes. I am teaching tarot through the coaching program I'm running, so if you're interested in learning tarot, I can do one-on-ones with you there. And if you're interested in the G's game, which we're running once a fortnight on a Saturday morning, you can email me about that one. That one doesn't cost you anything. It's just a group of people getting together to have a bit of a chin wag, talk all things spiritual. All right, today I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot. I think it's what it's called, isn't it? The Wild Unknown Tarot for your reading. And we are ready. Okay, so I have the card of Temperance coming straight through. Temperance is a card that talks about divine timing. It talks about things being in the right place at the right time, or things being brought into a balance or where they need to be. Sometimes I'm asked about divine timing. What does that mean? And I always think the easiest way to explain divine timing is to say it's when you're vibrating at the level or the same level as the thing you would like to manifest. So, for example, if you want to manifest a relationship in, you may have to do a little bit of self-work to get you ready, you know, pushing aside the baggage that you've carried, or, you know, getting yourself into a place where you want a healthy relationship, and then you raise your vibration, and then whoever is vibrating at the same level of you will come in. That's probably the easiest way to explain it, but it's about being healed and ready. What a lot of people, and I know that I heard someone on Facebook say something once before about meeting the next person. If you haven't healed, you're just going to meet the same person again with a different face. It's just one of those things. You attract what you think you deserve. So if you think you deserve that same sort of person, you're just going to keep repeating the patterns and the cycles. The only way to change that is to realize that you're doing that. So we have here Temperance. So she's talking about having everything in the right place at the right time. Behind that we have the Six of Swords. It's actually the Seven of Swords. Okay, the Seven of Swords. Okay. There is something here that hasn't been said that needs to be spoken. There is somebody here withholding information that needs to be shared in order for something to be brought back into balance. The Seven of Swords is a card that in traditional meaning was about trying to get away with something. Whether that is something, you know, sneaky, you know, just making that decision not to express oneself, making the decision not to talk to someone. It's often the card of ghosting. But whoever this is here is holding off some sort of balance that's waiting to be brought in by the universe by holding back information. So it could be a conversation that needs to be had. It could be this person isn't expressing their feelings. Whatever it is, something's holding this up. Okay, so we have here the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, oh, it's an ouchy energy, Five of Pentacles. It can talk about feeling low, feeling sad, feeling depressed. If someone's not speaking up, it could be the way they're feeling at the moment, because they're not able to express themselves, not able to communicate their intentions, their desires, their wants, their needs, whatever it is. But somebody here it's almost like keeping themselves trapped in this energy by not speaking up. Could be dealing with somebody here who's a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. But I do like that the Father of Swords has come out here, because the Father of Swords is all about communication here. He's very direct with communication. He sometimes feels a little cold because he's not emotional, so his communication may be very direct but very succinct. But someone here is really holding back an energy, holding back on something, not releasing something here. I'm just going to take a peek behind. Yeah, the Hanged Man. Well, there you go. That says it all, doesn't it? So what you've got here is someone who's like holding up the proceedings as it was, because they're not sort of saying what they need to be saying. All right, let's see what the story is. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so our first card comes in reverse. That is very interesting. So, like I always say, if it's in reverse, I'm going to read it in reverse. This is the card of the Fool. Now, the Fool upright talks about taking a leap of faith. It talks about jumping off into the unknown and just going for something. And what we have here is a person who's not prepared to jump into something at the moment. There's something that they need to do first before they can take this leap. And it's got something to do with a conversation that needs to take place. Some sort of communication that moves them forward or gets them going. So if you're holding back on something, whether that's at work, in a relationship, whatever area it is in your life, you could be holding back even in a family situation. But whatever it is here, if you don't let go and talk about it, it's creating this sort of constant pain within you that may be causing you to get quite down and even a little bit depressed. Something needs to be spoken. And until that's spoken, there's no new start here. All right. So we have the Star card coming out. Now this gives rise to something that's got to change here. There's got to be some sort of change in the way things are done. Maybe it's that you have to learn to communicate more effectively. Maybe it's that you're understanding how much communication is so important in a situation and how much pain is caused by holding it back. The Star card here sort of talks about the healing. It also talks about trust and faith. And it's also for things that are placed on your path as part of your destiny. So it's almost like this was meant to happen this way. So maybe during a time of not talking, a time of not communicating, there has been a lot of healing happening. So this feels to me like it was meant to happen with the Star here. It's almost like holding back on this conversation or not speaking your truth has sort of held you back for the reasons of healing. And maybe you're waiting for someone else to speak to you. And if that's the case, then they may have needed to do some healing before they made this decision to open up. Oh, this camera's still a little bit, I have to sort out the thing. I remember doing it yesterday and thinking I've got to sort it out, and I've got back to it. Okay. All right, so we have I've obviously put cards in upside down in my deck. We have the Emperor coming out in reverse. So some of you may be dealing with a divine masculine that is meant to communicate or is supposed to be communicating with you and hasn't. Maybe you haven't heard from someone. The Emperor reversed can often mean someone is really trying to stay in control. It can be quite sort of manipulative energy. It can be extremely negative. So I feel like whoever this is you're dealing with here is not in a good place at all. So it may be them that's not expressing something. Maybe they're holding on to energy that they are not sharing, which means it's slowly eating away at their psyche. Yeah, see, Four of Pentacles, holding on. Spirit says here that they're holding on to the answers. They're holding the key. So whatever that means for you, they're holding on to something that would allow something to move forward or change something so it metamorphosizes into something new. There's some resistance here from a person to embark on a new journey. And because of that, they are holding whoever else back here as well. So there's an energy of people holding each other back because the conversations have not taken place. The movements, it's stopped. It's not sort of moving in the direction it needs to be going in. All right. So we have the Daughter of Pentacles coming through here. There's some sort of gift that's meant to be given here. The Empress coming through on top of the Emperor here. Okay, giving rise to some sort of union between two people that's meant to be, but is not going forward because part of this union depends on the communication. But something in this communication is teaching you, probably both of you, about how to heal. It's like having this trust here without actually talking. So I feel like the universe is building this energy of you both trust something is meant to happen. You're no longer frightened or scared by it because you've healed that part of you that was afraid here to take this leap of faith. But somebody's still holding in there and still that little bit sort of stuck in the 3D energy. So what I feel here is the Empress is coming up upright. So it's like the feminine aspect, perhaps the feminine aspect of oneself, but it could be the feminine aspect in terms of in terms of a union, because whoever the feminine is coming up in the right way, where the masculine is coming upside down. So I think for many of you, if you are waiting for union, your masculine is not still trusting the energy. The feminine is, she's moving forward, she's understanding, she's doing her healing, she's understanding the process. But the masculine energy is not. Now what I want to say is sometimes the feminine and masculine energy, well sometimes it is always within us. So it could be for some of you that you've healed your feminine energy but not your masculine energy. But there's a very strong feeling that there's sort of like this hiccup with the masculine here, or the masculine energy, where they're not releasing. They're not releasing the control to the universe. They trust, they have faith, they know that this is meant to be, but they're not releasing the energy to the universe. All right, let's keep going here. All right, so we have the Mother of Wands here, the Queen of Wands. There is some sort of energy of I want to sort of talk about like a conduit, like an energy of a seal. It's like the reason both people need to talk. It's not about sealing the deal, but it's almost that sort of energy where the conversation is what brings the two of you together here. It's very, very, very deep energy here. Okay, so we have the Strength coming out in reverse. And we have the High Priestess. Six of Pentacles at the end. Okay, all right, now I see. Okay, now I see it. Okay, in order for a union to come together, what Spirit is saying here is there needs to be a greater understanding of your own power within the union, or within the relationship, within the situation. There has to be an acknowledgement of the power you have between you to hold back and not express. And this power is what you're being taught here. It's almost like you are being taught how important conversations and words are in relationships and within situations. How conversations can heal and they can change people and they can open up a whole new world, which is what is happening here. So perhaps in the past you've had difficulties with this person, or they've had difficulties with you having conversations, communication. You're learning communication. You're learning to reciprocate. You're learning how to invest in others as well as yourself. So there's pain and healing that needs to occur here for you both to understand how important it is to be open with your expression. Because the whole thing is here, both of you are learning to trust your intuition. Both of you are learning to trust your communication. Both of you are dealing with inner demons here with this strength card. So you're dealing with the things that have held you back, perhaps in past relationships. It's possible you could be sort of healing all of these things that once they're healed, the union or the relationship between you and this person is able to be had at a far higher level, not at the level it's currently at. So it's like you are learning the greater purpose of something. And the reason that has to happen is because you can't fix this, you can't mend this rift until you are both fully in the space of understanding the importance of these things within a relationship. You can't come together with in a union and do amazing things together if you are not both fully healed. And lessons are still being learned. So you may be dealing with someone who's shut down emotionally, shut down in a very communicative way. Someone's closed off from this, denied it. And because of that, there is an understanding. I can feel the understanding. So both of you know there is a reason for why it's happening. But maybe one person with the strength in reverse is not really doing what's required to bring them to the point where they need to be. Wow, too many things. Too much information coming through there. Complex reading. All right, okay. Oh, okay. All right, so that sort of really puts the icing on the cake. So the card I've pulled out for you here is the South Node, and it says, don't let the past hold you back. Someone's not releasing the past here with that Fool in reverse. Okay. Someone may not be releasing in a metaphorical way. Somebody may not be releasing in a physical way, but something's being held on to here that needs to go. Okay. South Node 114. And yet both people know that this is their destiny. All right, the South Node, like the North Node, is a karmic point. But it's opposite to the North Node and relates to the past, perhaps even to past lives. Ah, okay, now I'm getting it more. You've got something that needs to be done in this lifetime that you didn't sort in previous lifetimes. So you may have been following each other through past lifetimes to get to where you are now. Something has to be resolved within this lifetime. Okay, whatever you're going through and whatever you're asking about, there's a chance that age-old programming and conditioning is stopping you from achieving all that you might. Do you feel stuck in something? This card will often come as a sign that the situation or relationship you're asking about has somehow become suffocating, even toxic. It suggests that someone needs to be released, or there's some kind of addiction going on, or an unhealthy attachment that needs to be sorted out. One thing is for sure, when you get this card, you're being challenged to make some changes, even if staying where you are feels easier and safer. The attuned to the moon says, I release the past. Oh, wow. Additional meanings for this card. A relationship is karmic and has played out across many lifetimes. Your attraction to someone may be verging on the obsessive. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. So I'll let you take that on board. That's so deep. The information that's here is so deep. I don't even think I can express some of the things here that are coming through. It's really complex, but it's got to be sorted in this lifetime. I'll leave you with that.